Hey everyone, my name is Dana and I'm here with the Georgian Bay Cancer Support Center in this beautiful place in Collingwood, Millennium Outlook Park. And I am going to do a 20-minute-ish practice here today and focusing on legs and balance. So coming onto your chair, preferably one without arms, but it's not a necessity, and bringing your hands onto your lap, sitting up nice and tall and closing your eyes. Make sure there's space between your upper and lower rows of teeth. And then it's always nice to bring your awareness to your expression. So, putting a pleasing expression on your face. Checking in with yourself, how you're feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally, and honoring that in your practice. So modifying anything that you need to, and also if there's something that you is not for you that in this day, then modify or just visualize it, sitting and visualizing yourself moving fluidly and perfectly. So start to just slide your bottom to the back of your chair, taking your feet up off the floor, and start to flex and point your toes. Because I'm on the lawn here, I have my shoes on, but feel free to take your shoes off. Just warming up your feet, moving your feet, flexing and pointing your toes, and then start to do some circles with your ankles. And reverse direction. Now coming to stillness, just take your legs to the outside edges of your chair, flex your feet, internally rotate right at the hips, and then externally rotate. And as you do this, notice if your back is starting to round. So you want to lift up through the lower belly, engaging those muscles to support your lower back. Just feeling where your legs attach to your hips in that ball joint. So just warming up the muscles and tendons around the hip joints. While breathing, we tend to hold our breath here. And toes back up, bending your knees, sliding your bottom forward now. Bring your heels slightly underneath you and come to tiptoe and down. Tiptoe and down. So lifting and lowering your heels. Your feet might be somewhat forward, and that way your toes won't bend as much. So if you can bend your toes a little bit more, walk your feet underneath you. And one more time. Bringing your heels down, bringing them underneath you a little bit more, bringing your hands to heart center. Hinging forward, lift up and engage the core, just press your feet into the floor. Feel the muscles in your thighs engage, relax your shoulders, and sit. Take a breath here. And then hinging at the hips and pressing your feet into the floor. So engaging the thigh muscles. And release. Coming back to your chair again and just holding on to either the seat of the chair or the back of the chair, elbow points back, engage your abdominal muscles and straighten and bend your knees. So I can come right down because I've got such short legs. If you have longer legs, just bend your knees and let your feet come down onto the ground. If you have short legs like me, flex your feet and you can bring them in a little bit more, or under you a little bit more. One more time. And placing your feet down. Sliding forward on your chair, using your hands behind you just to support your lower back. Lift your right leg up, take it out to the side, tap it down, lift up, bring it in and down. Up, out, down, up, in, down. We're going to do 6 of these. And one more. Bringing your feet underneath you, come to standing. Bringing your hands to the back of your hips, soften your knees, and then just let your hip bones come forward as though there's a handle on your breastbone. Lift your heart, just feeling a little bit of an opening or a stretch in the front of the hips. And release, coming back down to the front of your chair. Ankles underneath your knees, sitting up tall. Lift, come out, tap, lift, in, tap. It is such a gorgeous day, and the breeze feels wonderful. We're right at the end of September. And one more. Bringing your feet underneath you, coming to standing. Once again, the front of the hips stretch. Rather than sinking down into the lower back, think of lifting up through your heart. And then come around to the back of your chair, coming into a downward facing dog. So stretching the back of your legs here and your spine, hands shoulder width apart. Maintain space between your shoulder blades. Walking to the back of your chair, using your chair for balance, tiptoe up and down. So lifting your heels. And as your heels come down, step over to the right, using your chair, left hand on the chair. Lift your right knee, and as though there's a wall in front of your knee and your knee has a pencil attached to it, start to draw some infinity signs on that wall with your knee. So you're moving your hip again. It can be a smaller movement, maybe a little bit lower. And one more, around and down. Stepping over to the other side. Lifting the left knee, nice and tall, and start those infinity signs. Flossing out the hip joints, the hip socket. So small or big. And as you do this, you're strengthening the foundational leg as well, the standing leg. Keep holding onto your chair. And one more. And down. Coming back over to the other side, the right side, flexing your right foot. Just flex your foot in front of you and then slide it behind you. So it's a forward and back, forward and back. And now have fun here. Just swing your leg at whatever speed you like, but think about relaxing right at the hip. Not holding your breath. One more, two more, and over to the other side. So having fun, use the chair for balance, flex this foot so you can just let it float underneath you, relaxing your hip. Any scar tissue that's there, just think of smoothing it away. Swinging away. And one more, or another, and down. Coming back to downward facing dog, so behind your chair, walking your feet away, flattening your spine. Now coming into warrior pose, bringing your right foot is forward and your left foot steps back. You're going to keep your chair where it is. I'm going to move mine so you can see me. So bringing your right foot back, hips are squared, shoulders are squared. You can keep your hands at heart center. Make sure that your knee is stacked over your ankle. And if it's for you, reach up towards the sky, palms facing one another. Feel your shoulder blades sink down your back. Feeling strong in warrior, stretching out that back leg and strengthening the front one. Bringing hands to heart center. You can bring your hands to your chair to help you step that back foot up. And then coming into mountain posture, drawing those shoulders back, bringing the middle finger to the seam of your pants, reaching down with that middle finger. As you inhale, look over your left shoulder. And as you exhale, look over your right shoulder. I always love this one because it connects you to your breath easily, and it also keeps your neck nice and relaxed. Any tension that we're holding in our shoulders or in our neck, we can kind of take stock of here as we turn our head from side to side and then come to center. So coming into warrior one and the other side, bringing your hands to heart center and stepping the right foot back. So stacking this knee over your ankle, straightening the back leg, hips and shoulders squared towards your screen or maybe towards the back of your chair, and find your tall arms, palms facing one another. This is a very good posture for strengthening, lengthening, and balancing. Breath awareness. Feel the expansion of the side ribs as you inhale. Feel as they retract as you exhale. Look up. Beautiful sun on your face. If it's not, it is here. And hands to heart center. Stepping that back foot forward. Use your chair if needed. Coming back into mountain posture. Now stepping back to the right side of your chair and staying behind your chair, using your chair for balance, just take your right leg out to the side and tap and bring it in. Out and in. And as you do this, think of pulling up out of this foundational left leg. Keeping your shoulders relaxed. Now I'm going to start to lift and bring it in. Lift and bring it in. Two more. Bringing your leg out to the side and lifting a little pulse, 16 of them if it's for you. 2, 3, 4. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back in. Stepping to the left. So standing up nice and tall, taking that left leg out to the side and in. Bringing that foot right back beside the right. Now we're going to start to lift up and in. And notice that my thigh is still facing forward. So you can't lift your leg too high here, but you're really isolating your hip and the outside of your thigh. Taking that leg out and lift, 2, 3, 4. Keep lifting out, 9, 8, 7, up through the right leg, 3, 2, 1, I think, and both feet down. Bending your knees, straighten, bend your knees, straighten, bend your knees, tuck your tailbone, and move your hip from side to side. So a little stretch in the outside of the hips here. And back to the right. Taking this right leg behind you and just lifting and lowering. And switching sides. So working your glutes here. So you could come over to the other side if you want, or just come behind your chair, and we're going to lift 8 times. And down. Coming around and sitting down on your chair. So you could use this 20 minutes after you've gone for a walk or before you've gone for a walk. If you want it, it's a little bit more of a strengthening rather than a stretching. So it's great to strengthen these muscles around your hips and your legs and practice balance. Helps with movement, and motion is lotion, I like to say. I think a lot of people like to say that. So I am wishing you a fabulous day. Thanks for joining me, bringing hands to heart center with big smiles and gratitude. Namaste.